The Enigma of Julia. A glimpse into the abyss. Julia's story was like no other I had encountered in my entire career. As a board-certified psychiatrist and a professor of clinical psychiatry at a prestigious medical college, I had always approached the world with a scientific and skeptical mind. My training and experience had taught me to seek logical explanations for even the most perplexing cases. Yet, Julia's case challenged everything I thought I knew. It was as if the very foundation of my understanding was being tested. Here was a woman, a self-proclaimed high priestess in a satanic cult, exhibiting phenomena that defied rational explanation. Her claims were not just bizarre, they were terrifying. Her case, documented in medical journals, would become a chilling testament to the reality of spiritual warfare. The details were meticulously recorded, each session more unnerving than the last. From the outset, it was clear that Julia was different. There was an aura about her, something that set her apart from any other patient I had ever treated. Her gaze held an unsettling intensity, a darkness that hinted at a world beyond our own. It was as if she could see into the very soul of a person. She spoke of her involvement in satanic rituals, her voice laced with a chilling matter-of-factness. There was no hesitation, no doubt in her words. But it was her abilities, her knowledge of things she couldn't possibly know, that truly sent shivers down my spine. She would recount events and details that were impossible for her to have known. Julia's case was a descent into the abyss, a glimpse into the terrifying power of the demonic. Each session felt like stepping further into a dark, unknown territory. It was a case that would stay with me long after our sessions ended, a stark reminder that there are forces at work in our world that we are only beginning to understand. The experience left an indelible mark on my psyche. The case of Julia was not just about demonic possession. It was about the limits of our understanding, the boundaries of science, and the chilling reality that some mysteries are best left unsolved. It was a profound lesson in humility and the unknown. Unholy knowledge. Julia's troubling insights. Julia possessed an uncanny ability to know things she couldn't possibly have known. Her insights were not just random guesses. They were precise and deeply personal. It was as if she had access to a hidden realm of information, a dark library of secrets. This knowledge seemed to come from an ancient, almost forgotten source. She would reveal intimate details about my life, things I had never shared with anyone. Her revelations were always accurate, leaving me in a state of shock and disbelief. She knew about my family, my past, even my unspoken thoughts. It was as if she could read my mind, delving into the deepest corners of my memories. It was both unsettling and deeply disturbing. The more she revealed, the more I felt a creeping sense of dread. One particularly chilling instance involved a colleague I had not seen in years. Julia described him with such detail, it was as if she had met him herself. Julia, without any prompting, began to describe him in detail, even mentioning a recent accident he had been in. I was stunned. Her description was so vivid, it felt like she had witnessed the event. I had not spoken to this colleague in over a decade, and there was no way Julia could have known about him or his accident. The accuracy of her knowledge was beyond comprehension. This was not simply a matter of coincidence or clever deduction, it was something far more sinister. It felt like she was tapping into a dark, forbidden source of information. Her knowledge extended beyond my personal life. She seemed to have a grasp on events happening all over the world. She would often speak of events happening in distant places, events that were later verified by news reports. Her predictions were eerily accurate, leaving no room for doubt. It was as if she had a direct line to the unseen world, a window into the hidden workings of the universe. This connection was both fascinating and terrifying. This unholy knowledge was both fascinating and terrifying, a testament to the dark power that seemed to flow through her. It was a power that defied explanation, leaving those who encountered it in awe and fear. The voice of darkness, speaking in tongues and inhuman sounds. As Julia's case progressed, so too did the strangeness of her behavior. One of the most unsettling phenomena was her ability to speak in languages she had never learned. During our sessions, she would lapse into fluent Latin, Hebrew, and Aramaic, languages she had no prior knowledge of. Her voice would change, taking on a guttural, almost demonic quality. These episodes were often accompanied by other disturbing sounds. Deep growls would emanate from her throat, sounds that seemed to originate from something otherworldly. At times, it was as if a chorus of voices was speaking through her, a cacophony of whispers and snarls that sent chills down my spine. These vocalizations were unlike anything I had ever encountered in my years of practice. They were primal, guttural, and deeply unsettling. It was as if the very essence of evil was finding its voice through her, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of our world. These linguistic anomalies, coupled with the otherworldly sounds, painted a disturbing picture of a mind under the influence of a malevolent force. Section 4. The Devil's Playground. Physical manifestations of evil. The demonic influence on Julia was not limited to her words and knowledge. It manifested in the physical world as well, turning her surroundings into a terrifying spectacle. Objects would move independently in her presence, defying the laws of physics. Furniture would slide across the room, doors would slam shut, and religious artifacts, such as crucifixes and holy water, would elicit violent reactions from her. One particularly harrowing incident involved a rosary beads I had placed on my desk. As Julia entered the room, the beads began to rattle violently, as if shaken by an unseen hand. The crucifix attached to the beads grew hot to the touch, its metal surface burning with an unnatural heat. Julia recoiled from the rosary, her body convulsing as if in pain. These physical manifestations were not mere parlor tricks. They were tangible evidence of a power that transcended our understanding of the natural world. It was as if the very fabric of reality was warping around Julia, bending to the will of the demonic entity that held her captive. Section 5. Beyond the Realm of Psychiatry. Dr. Gallaghers Assessment. As a psychiatrist, I was trained to approach cases like Julia's with a healthy dose of skepticism. My education and experience had always emphasized the importance of evidence-based practice and rational analysis. I initially suspected that her behavior might be attributed to a psychological disorder, such as dissociative identity disorder or schizophrenia. These conditions often present with symptoms that can be quite perplexing and challenging to diagnose. However, as I delved deeper into her case, I realized that her symptoms defied conventional psychiatric explanations. The more I investigated, the more I encountered phenomena that simply could not be explained by standard medical theories. Julia's knowledge of private details, her ability to speak in unknown languages, and the physical phenomena surrounding her were not consistent with any known mental illness. These occurrences were beyond the scope of what I had ever encountered in my professional career. Her case presented a unique set of challenges, forcing me to confront the limitations of my own scientific understanding. It was a profound moment of realization that not everything can be neatly categorized or explained by modern science. I consulted with colleagues, both within and outside the field of psychiatry, seeking a rational explanation for what I was witnessing. I reached out to experts in neurology, psychology, and even those with knowledge of the paranormal. Yet, despite our best efforts, we were unable to find a satisfactory diagnosis within the realm of conventional medicine. Every avenue we explored led to more questions than answers. Julia's case was a stark reminder that there are forces at work in our world that science cannot fully explain. It challenged my beliefs and made me reconsider the boundaries of human knowledge. It was a humbling experience, one that forced me to expand my understanding of the human mind and the nature of reality itself. This journey into the unknown was both unsettling and enlightening, forever altering my perspective on the mysteries of the human condition.